Hawk, still them talk say make we no talk, but thank God say Maiyegun don come. So my people make you loud, oh yo yo, Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo, Maiyegun don come, oh yo yo. Maiyegun don come.
It is a night that sometimes in the section of this broadcast, you might need something to calm yourself down before I open the line, where you can then pour out your mind and say your mind as well. I was following the development, especially on the latest development in Nigeria. Let us be very clear, okay? There is nothing that Maiyegun talks about that is not new. That is new to all of you, many of you. There is nothing going on in Nigeria that many of you are not following elsewhere. But you see, the difference between Maiyegun's diary, Politico, and others is the fact that Maiyegun's diary, Politico will give you the opportunity to have an insight, an insightful sort of a conscious, thinking about exactly what is going on. Nigeria is a place whereby people want you to talk about the problem. Talk about the problems. Everyone is dramatic about it. People love to play victims of a system and at the same time claim powerlessness in rescuing themselves. And it is deliberate. Nigeria is a place where they want you to talk about the problem, but they don't want you to mention the names of those behind the problem. Because when you begin to mention names, you will realize that all the Nigerians who agree that there is a problem, they will begin to fault your reasons for those problems, because they have their tribesmen, they have their church member, they have their mosque member, they have people from their own traditionals everywhere who is involved in where we are. And that is something that we shouldn't shy away from, because the manipulative system in Nigeria allows for a criminal like a Bokwari to gain access to power. He is not alone. There are many Bokwaris in different forms, from different tribes, in smaller forms and bigger forms, in different capacity all over Nigeria. These are the dangerous ones that eventually give Bokwari the energy to do what he is doing or what he is still going to do. When you name problems, when you complain about a problem, right? It will be ideal when you mention the causes of the problem, if the people who caused the problem have names, mention their names, save the world. Then they say, what then can we do? I was like, Nigeria is a place whereby you will be blackmailed from speaking up. It is deliberate. When you want to speak up, like I said, talk about the problem, okay? But the only thing you are allowed to do, which is commonly accepted, is to blame yourselves. We are our own problems. We are the one who is causing all this problem. We shouldn't just blame the politicians. Let us blame look at the people collecting bribe here. Look at those ones selling mango, 3 mango for 20 naira. Mango that is free and all of that. So don't let us just blame the politicians. Let's blame ourselves too. Because that is what is called self-victimization, so to say. They want to talk about the problems. They don't want to talk about those who are actually behind the problem. Rather, they love pointing fingers at you, at me, and finding other excuses that makes them escape those criminals who are behind the whole thing. Because when you mention those criminals, you are going to be mentioning people from their tribe. You're going to be mentioning people from their religion, from their this, from their that, people they are associated with, not directly, but because of where they come from. On Maiyegun's diary, I will mention names, right? Not just talk about the problem. I'll mention names and I'll tell you, if you are going to find a solution, right? You and I are the solution. Those who are part of the problem, they will never, ever be part of the solution. And that is something that we are still pretty much at a crossroads now. But a system that produced Boko Haram, that brought so much division that is so obvious, and he is not hiding it. That same system is the system that is bringing Nigeria to the precipice of today, whereby a simple conversation about a national cohesion, that simple, honest conversation among all the ethnic nationalities in Nigeria has become so hard to make happen that they will rather choose genocide, war, destruction, terrorism, economic war on the people that they should be sitting down with and having a conversation with. So the system that produces Boko Haram is a system that will produce many, 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 many more Boko Harams, and it doesn't matter where they come from. The agenda is the same. Like I told some of my friends in the past, listen, Boko Haram came in to fulfill his long-time dream of massacring and killing the Igbos, an unfinished business from 1966. So when they spoke about, when you read the story about the 1966 retaliatory coup of July 1966, carried out by the northern renegade soldiers who decided to at least kill all those they consider as Igbo leaders, Yoruba leaders, who were part of those who were part of, as according to them, blamed for the January 1966 coup. When they finished killing in a retaliatory coup, it wasn't meant to keep Nigeria one. It was meant to break up Nigeria from that moment. But something happened. They got rewarded. Rather than them to face the supreme justice firing squad. So they got rewarded. Boko Haram was one of them. I don't know if many of you know that. Among those soldiers who carried out the 1966 coup, the retaliatory coup, Gowon, Muritala, Babangida, Danjuma, Abacha, Boko Haram, and the rest, Dongoyar, and the rest of them like that. And they all got rewarded one time or the other for their war crime. Now, that same Boko Haram who was rewarded with a promotion after the genocide of Biafra, what happened? He staged his own coup because Gowon said there was no winner and there was no vanquished. Therefore, everything Biafra and those killed can always be buried in the history, which they never succeeded in doing. The unfinished business that Boko Haram came to do, he alerted the rest of the world in Washington way back in 2015 when he was meant to be meeting the world after his election and inauguration as the new president of Nigeria, somebody that just came out of an election, the most divisive election ever in the history of Nigeria. And he went to America and he told his American audience, right, that happens to be the African American and other mixed, audience. And he told them that they shouldn't expect him to treat the Igbos who gave him just 5% of the votes. They shouldn't expect him to treat them same way he would treat those who voted for him and who gave him 97% vote. It was very clear. His agenda was never for the Igbos or the Eastern Nigeria at all, right? But the Igbos, the Biafrans were adamant because they knew him. Many of us vilified them. So many of us disliked them for being so persistent and continue to tell us that, the agenda of this person is not just to wipe out the 5% that didn't vote for him. He was going to deal with all of you, the 97% that were shouting change. Many of you did not agree. Some of you are still struggling to understand why the Igbos, the Biafrans in general, especially those who saw the light, the IPOB, Boko Haram saw them early enough as well. He saw them as a threat early enough in his regime. That was why when he kidnapped Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Something I was telling one of those guys who believe that killing people for asking for their own country is the right thing to do to stop them from asking for their own country, right? I was like, there was no arrest warrant. There was no court order. There was no court judgment that says Nnamdi Kanu should be arrested whenever he steps his feet on the soil of Nigeria. There was no court order, nothing. So he came to Nigeria. But because they were looking for him and they had no way of getting him arrested, this is not 1985, whereby Bokwari, when he came here to come and kidnap Umaru Diko. You remember that story? Umaru Diko, a member of a Shagari's government who was accused of being corrupt, right? And he ran to London. Then when Bokwari overthrew Shagari, and Bokwari was then looking for those that were working for Shagari, right? Some of them are abroad. Bokwari himself, who happened to be a despot, a military regime, right, had no legal right to claim anybody or extradite anybody to Nigeria with his military decree, right? He decided to kidnap the person from London. So they came here. He used the Israeli, what do you call it? The Israeli Mossad or something they call them, to kidnap Umaru Diko. They already boxed him, put him in a box. He was already at Stansted Airport. He was about to be shipped. They said he is, what do you call it? Is a diplomatic luggage. So they marked the box they put him in. Because Bokwari couldn't follow anything legal. He doesn't believe in anything rule of law or anything at all, right? So he wanted to kidnap Umaru Diko back to Nigeria. And they got caught. Umaru Diko was rescued. That was how that one day ended up dead. So when Nnamdi Kanu was in Nigeria, Bokwari, because their agenda was to hunt down everybody that they know as whoever is standing up for the Biafrans or shouting Biafran here and there, they will hunt them down as enemies of the Fulanis, but they will use Nigeria military and Nigerian security and intelligence agencies to track them down. There was no court order. They did not go to court to say, oh, this Nnamdi Kanu, who is living in London, has been inciting people in Nigeria. We want him extradited back to Nigeria to come and face judgment. They didn't do that. They were waiting. They were waiting, right? While they were waiting, they were picking up people they suspected to be members of IPOB, right? When Nnamdi Kanu got to Nigeria, they got to know that he was in, right? What did they do? They decided to go and kidnap him. For about 3 months, they denied having him or holding him. They continued to deny and deny. Meanwhile, they were using that opportunity to get him to possibly change his mind. Tell him then that they don't want trouble for Bokwari. He should just stop whatever he's saying, right? When they finally got exposed to tell us that they were holding him, I am telling you all of this to let you know that where you are today is not a coincidence. Bokwari planned it to destroy Nigeria. The only person dividing Nigeria, doing the job of dividing Nigeria through violence is Bokwari. There was no court order. There was no court judgment, nothing. So when they picked him, they now decide, when they waited for 3 months, when they had nothing to charge him with, they now said, yeah, we got him. We got him. But what happened is that we arrested him with some dangerous equipment to come and be broadcasting about Radio Biafra in Nigeria. And he was planning to divide Nigeria. You know, Bokwari was new. Many people were still enjoying the Kool-Aid of change mantra. You remember? They were just, they were still living in the bubble of change. So many of those 97%, including many of my Yoruba brothers and sisters, they were like, that's the right thing to do. Legally or not legally, whether it's illegal, it doesn't matter. What nonsense. Why can't they ask for Biafra under Jonathan? How come they are now asking for Biafra? Why is he saying they want to divide Nigeria? So Bokwari made sense because his action appealed to the mumus who they sold change to. And they want to enjoy their change. They don't want any Biafra to interfere, right? So it was all right for Bokwari to hold Nnamdi Kanu without any court judgment. As they were doing that then they moved to begin to clamp down on the IPOB members. Many of them were arrested. Remember, they were only you doing what I'm doing right now. They were using their phones to broadcast. They were broadcasting through their online broadcaster platform by Biafra Radio app. All of this, no weapon, no nothing, no. While they were focusing on the IPOB members, and they were telling all of you, the 97%ers, that they were doing the right thing to make Nigeria better. They were also dealing mercilessly with the rest of you, all of you 97%ers. Okay? So because you are waiting for the miracle of change, many of you justified and considered the IPOB members as troublemakers. The fact that whatever they are agitating for is legally binding and they should never be killed for it, because Boko Haram's agenda suited killing them to prove a point, and killing them suited many of you because that could keep Nigeria one and keep Boko Haram focused. But it wasn't focused. They destroyed the economy. From all of you, from 13 million unemployed people, that jumped to over 35 million unemployed people. That is 22 million of you who have jobs in 2015. Today, you are jobless. They said they met the statistics of 80 million people in poverty when they came in. Today, they have over 140 million people. And you know what? 60 million of them, they are living in extreme poverty. They destroyed the naira. They destroyed the economy. They destroyed your jobs, right? They now diversified insecurity. It was Boko Haram in Northeast when they came in. But today, they are now telling you that it is either you give your land or you give your lives. Many farmers have been killed. Many of them have abandoned their farms in northern Nigeria, in southern Nigeria, in eastern Nigeria, in every part of Nigeria. Everyone is down under the threat of insecurity. 6 years. You now have bandits. You have ISWAP. You have Boko Haram. You have ISIL. You have a Fulani terrorist. You have the Nigerian military terrorists. And you now have Boko Haram sitting above it all. So the agenda actually matched, but they played you. By the time some of you will realize, it was too late, because Boko Haram had succeeded in destroying whatever is left of all your institutions, as much as they were not really reliable. But you know what Boko Haram did in 6 years? It destroyed them completely. Now you can't say you were cheated, you want to go to court. You can't say a Fulani terrorist come onto your farm to destroy your farm, you want to arrest him and take him to the police station, you get justice. You will be arrested in his place. But guess what? There are people that will tell you, yes, even on all of that, we should all come together and be one. How? How do you become one with your killers when you can read very clearly the agenda? This is not conspiracy theory. It is real. And if you are not paying attention yet, it is because maybe you choose not to. You are not alone among those who are living in denial of this. Then, when they killed, kidnapped and raped, destroyed and bombed everything they could do to the Igbos in the name of God knows what. This can't be in the name of Nigeria. It can't. The Fulani terrorists now expanded their campaign of terror right before our eyes, our very, very eyes. The story started from these guys who are killing people in far away Ekiti. Do you know the distance of for Ekiti to Zamfara? Can you imagine the distance between Borno or Niger to Ijebu-Ode? Can you imagine it? Then these criminals came. This Bukwari and his gang of 40 thieves, including the Hallelujah boys, the Buhari idiots, the Sai barbarians home and abroad. They told us that these guys who were killing our people were from Sudan, they were from Chad, they were from Niger, they were from Mali, Mauritius, Central African Republic. They said they were from Libya and so many of these places that are completely so different from who we are. Then we said, how did they get in? When you said you are going to crush Boko Haram in 3 months, how did these killers get in? How did they get in that nobody could arrest them? They've committed crimes and they had never been held responsible. They said, don't say that. Boko Haram is trying his best. It is because of the weather. There is a dissertation in North Africa, and they need vegetation. They need a greener area to feed and graze and feed their cows. Oh, okay. So it's all about their cows eating fresh grass. Hello. Do they have to trek from Sudan to Ekiti? Do they have to trek from Mauritius? Another part of Africa? Do they have to trek from Central African Republic? To Odogbolu, my hometown, in Ijebu, before they can feed or graze their cows? What happened to this modern technology of irrigation? Or is that not what it's called? Where you use the modern technology to what? To, get water supply that will eventually wet the dry land, grow the grass in thousands of acres, build ranches, put these cows on these farms where the grass will always grow green. It doesn't matter the dissertation or the climate change nonsense that they are also trying to use as an excuse. Why should people be killed? Why should farms be destroyed in Ibarapa simply because somebody from Libya want to graze his cow? This doesn't make any sense. Where is the government? They said the government just came in. We cannot rush them. Okay. How many people are going to die before the government will need to know that they need to protect the border and prevent this influx of these criminals? But it was a lie. They needed to buy time. As those people were, fluxing in. I mean, they're getting into the country, getting into southern Nigeria. They were helping them to move further south, using Dangote trucks to mobilize them in the middle of the night. They were given Okadas and so many other things that moved them down south. They have no destination there. Then we realized that many of them have already been brought into northern Nigeria just before the 2015 elections. And after the 2015 elections, they have no plan for them other than for them to just go and find their way. And therefore, because this is becoming a problem, the Boko Haram's government came up with an idea. What was that idea? Ruga. First, they started with grazing routes. No, they started with, grazing routes. People said, even in this your grazing route, it is only, existed in northern Nigeria. We have these criminals in southern Nigeria destroying our farms, kidnapping our women, raping our women, and then destroying our communities, killing people and sending them to refugee camps. That can't be about cows. That can't be about a grazing route. So if it's about grazing route, there is no grazing route existing in southern Nigeria, although there is one, according to them, in Oyo State. But today, that doesn't exist. In the entire southern Nigeria, the only place historically that they had grazing routes was in Oyo State. And you can tell it's because of the proximity of Oyo State to Niger State and the border between the Niger State and all that. Sharing those borders makes Oyo State very close to them. There was no grazing route in southern Nigeria, nowhere in southern Nigeria. So they when they realized that, oh boy, I said that one no go work, they said, okay, let us create cattle colonies. What do you mean by cattle colonies? They said they were going to let those who are killing people all over the place to resettle down wherever they want in every part of Nigeria. So everybody must provide land for them so they can create colony for them. And from colony, it will become local government areas. And that is why you are going to have the Fulani from Mauritius, Fulani from Sudan, Niger, Mali, and other places have their own local government area in your state. How would that bring peace? How did they get in the first place? What happened to all the people they have killed? The innocent people that have died because the Nigerian government under Boko Haram couldn't protect the border. They didn't protect the border because it is deliberate to let them in so that they can then force us to start negotiating for our lives. Hello. Insecurity became the order of the day. And they continue to sing us different sing-song, telling us that it's because of your fault. It's because of my fault. This now led to the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, to say, listen, now that all of you can see that everything is compromised, you can't protect yourself or defend yourself, you will be considered as an enemy. Boko Haram has ordered a security agent to disarm all of us from having any arm to protect ourselves in the name of trying to reduce crime. But the Fulani terrorists walk about with their AK-47, which Boko Haram himself admitted to, that they were free to walk about with their AK-47. However, they only use it when people say they shouldn't graze on their farms. Are you with me? You will have no right to protect yourselves. That is the explanation. Now they are giving us conditions. When people kept their position that no way we won't do it. If all of you love the Fulanis because you speak their language, why can't you create all these cattle colonies, all these ruga areas in northern Nigeria, which actually controls over 70% of the landmass in Nigeria? Out of the 100% landmass in Nigeria, the total land coverage of Nigeria, the northern Nigeria controls 71% of the land space. How can you then want the rest of southern Nigeria that controls just a paltry 21%, which half of it is, even water? How can you want us to still part with land, hectares, thousands of hectares of land to resettle the Fulani coming from Niger, from Chad, and all these places in our areas just for peace to reign, just for one Nigeria? How did we come about this? Why should we do that when your job is to protect us? When your job is to protect that unity, that safety, everything that makes us that part of Nigeria, why should we have a condition of parting with our land? When they realized that won't work, then they decided to promote a bill that would then give the federal government of Nigeria the right to your waterways. Because these Fulanis, according to them, they need land very close to water. And this can only be found, 98% of needed water can only be found in what is today's southern Nigeria. So when they couldn't get land for them, they decided to use their National Assembly. They put a bill, they call it Water Resources Bill. So you see, this is how they put you, the 97%ers, in danger of the trap they told you, or they probably thought they were plotting for the Igbos, the 5%. At the end of the day, you are all trapped and tricked, and you are all going to pay for it, or you are all paying for it, including those who didn't vote for Boko Haram. So they promoted a bill called the Water Resources Bill. All of this just to ensure that the Fulani who they told us came from Chad, Niger, and all these places are resettled in Nigeria officially. And whatever land they get becomes theirs, and you will have to find somewhere else to live, or you have to live with it and accept it as the reality of today. Water Resources Bill, which will give the federal government of Nigeria, controlled by the Fulani Caliphate, the right to control all of the waterways in Nigeria, 98% of that in southern Nigeria. And they will also control 6 kilometers of land from those water. Let's put it this way. Let's say you have water in Lagos now, your Lagos water. Now, you see the land between that bar beach, and you will now calculate 6 kilometers. 6 kilometers from that water. You will calculate it back. That is where whatever they call your state or your local government will start from. That is what is called the Water Resources Bill. And the purpose is this, so that they can now resettle the Fulani they want to resettle very close to the river, very close to water, and without having to fight any war, just using the legislation, using the takia, that will make all of you think, Shebina for peace. Why can't they just do that? Okay? That will automatically make you cede your land. All of you shouting, we are Biafrans, we are Igbos and we are one Nigeria. We are Yorubas. We don't believe in all this your Yoruba nation, all this Oduduwa Republic. You call it nonsense, Abi. You are not smart. You are not smart. If you are, you will never open your mouth and call those who are asking for Oduduwa Republic, or those who are asking for revolution, or those who are asking for Biafra. You will never open that your mouth and call it a nonsense if you are smart. But I believe not all of you, the Buhari idiots, not all of you, the fake ass Nigerians, are really smart. Now, if they manage to get the Water Resources Bill passed, it simply means, you see that Apapa Wharf, you see all those places that you think, now you get them, they will become territories, new towns, new names, and they will be occupied by the invading Fulani terrorists. Do you now see that all of you thinking they are going to bring war before they will go and dip their sword inside the ocean? You know, they said they will crush you, they will fight you, and then after killing all of us, they will go and dip their sword in your ocean. All of you thought it was going to be the sword war. All of you thought it was going to be the gun war. All this gun war, they are the distraction to spread the fear, for you to know that it is very important for you to accept, for them to do what they want to do, because it's the only way for peace. So 6 kilometers. Imagine. Do you know how many hectares of land that will make up 6 kilometers? You will kiss your Lagos bar beach. All of you going to the bar beach, going to the beach to do all your weekend, what have you, fun and all of that. You will kiss those places goodbye. Because number one, remember, you are an infidel to them. An infidel who is, why will you go to the beach and open your body? Why will you take it? What is wrong with all of you? Who give you that right? So now 6 kilometers away, you will never smell that beach again. You will never smell those waters again. And how long it's going to take them, right before your eyes, they will rename those places new towns. They will appoint emirs into them. They will do all they have to do. And you can say it's a conspiracy theory. You are not smart enough, because all you can say is that it's not possible. I just told you now. Just same way you're going to read it. The Nigerian Senate just passed the Water Resources Bill. And then you'll be reading about, what is Water Resources Bill? They say it's just for government to control the waters, government to make sure that no criminals say blah, 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 blah. You will be a moron, to actually believe that. Now, Boko Haram, who has all this agenda, who has put all of us and our own existence, our safety in danger. The same Boko Haram just came out and he said there is no going back in finding and then recovering of the grazing route. Let me tell you a story. Okay. In fact, give me a sec. Something I want to check. So let me tell you a story. Some of you know this story, okay? But it's a good thing to remember, so that even if you are a proud Buhari idiot, or if you are a very, very educated and then a proud Buhari, cyberbarian, okay? It doesn't really matter. But listen to this. Whatever is going on right now, you are all going to have a fair share of it. Some of you will live in denial, okay? You are just going to live in denial anyway. The suffering and smiling mentality, that's yours. You know, the reason why I'm telling you all of this is that, as they say, elections have consequences, okay? You have chosen change, and you have also joined the next devil. All of that, the consequences is what it is today. I congratulate you. But if there is anyone who is doing the greatest job of dividing Nigeria, that person is no other than Bokwari. Okay, his job is to divide all of you, divide Nigeria, break it up completely. Okay, but breaking it up means that they will burn a part of that Nigeria down, and when they push all of you to react, eventually you have to break up. Are you with me? No wonder they are diverting the resources of your Nigeria that you don't have. They are diverting them to Niger Republic. Okay, I don't know if if many of you know that Niger Republic is the 37th state of Nigeria. Okay, now let me tell you this story. Bokwari as an ethnic jingoist and an ethnic bigot, right? In 2000, year 2000, just about a year after we started this demonstration of craze, the demon of craze or craziness, this one, 1999, the Fulanis who were encroaching on government land, government farm settlements, like, we have this in Western region, in the old Western region, right? We were doing so well, long. It no go better for those who have done so well to continue to keep us in this contraption for this long. We were doing so well, honestly. Now we are just reading about them in the book, right? So we had the farm settlement, very, very flourishing farm settlement, whereby if you are a farmer, government will allocate you free land. You will cultivate land. You will cultivate things. Government will give you money to get yourself fertilizers. They will do when you now finish, when your farm produce, when they are ready for the market, the government, they will now buy some of them from you, if not all of them. Okay. So with that way, government was able to control the price of food stuff and everything. We're supposed to be a great country as a Yoruba people. All right. All those farm settlements were destroyed by the successive Omoalis who have come to power, and those who are also was the Olori Burukus who took military positions to be governors in Yoruba land. They shall destroyed everything, okay? But those land are still there. In government book, they are government property or for your states after there's no more. After the end of First Republic, after there is no more Western region, okay? Now, you see, these farm settlements are mainly around Okeogun area, all right? That's like when you are saying Oyo North, all right? So when you're going to Okeogun, Ibarapa, or this Ayete, Ikongon area, all those areas, the farm settlements are there. So there have been some Fulani who have been encroaching on those land for long time. And most of the time, they run into trouble with the owners of those allocated land, and there are clashes. But never for once have they been able to raise army to say they want to defeat the locals and claim the land. Never for once. But something happened. A fight broke out. They've attempted a few times, where they will clash with the locals, they will fight them, they will, and they will quickly beg for peace. So they will bring in the government, they will bring in the royal fathers, they will settle. They will say, we will not do that again. We will never do it again. But when democracy started, something happened. A fight broke out, sometimes around 99 or so, the year 1999. So in about 2000 or 2001, Bokwari traveled from Daura. Are you with me? This is somebody who was still probably regretting the fact that Abacha died, because after they kicked him out in 1985, he became jobless, useless. However, he was still keeping his pension. Are you with me? He went into farming. He had 150 cows. After his release from prison, when Babangida released him, so he started collecting his pension. So he opened a farm, and then he had 150 cows in 1988. He had 150 cows in 1998. And then as a farmer, as a Fulani, so, and as a former president, a former terrorist who took over power by gun, this Fulani democracy is here. So the Fulani probably went to him to say, Baba, can you use your influence and talk to the governor of your state? His people are really, really not letting us have our time. I mean, do whatever we like. They are always giving us limitation. They are always fighting us. Bokwari, that was given a job by Abacha in 1993 until Abacha died in 1998, and Bokwari became jobless again. So he moved, and he traveled from Daura to Agodi in Ibadan. And guess what he told the then governor, late Lamadeshino, when Bokwari got to Ibadan? He did not say much. He just said, Mr. Governor, why are your people killing my people? I was like, you are a former head of state. You should know better. There are clashes between the others, the Fulani herdsmen, and the farmers. And the clashes is about encroaching on their farms or grazing on their farms. And most of the time, the others have always apologized. And we have resettled them. What do you mean by why are your people killing my people? They have clashes. And it was like, then you should tell your people to stop killing my people. Do you know the people killing people then? To Bokwari, the Yorubas were killing Fulanis, according to Bokwari, and he traveled down to Yoruba land to warn the Yoruba governor that he should tell his people to stop killing his people. So when Tifnumbu dragged Yorubas into an alliance with Bokwari and his jihadist apologist team, I was one of those who warned you, okay? But mine was probably not as detailed as the Biafrans' messages, who were telling us that they will kill us, they will kill all of you, they will try to subjugate, they will try to take over, but some of you were like, it's impossible. But look at us today, see us today, we the Yorubas, we have our people who are now refugees in their thousands, in Benin Republic, a small country next to us, simply because Tifnumbu dragged us into an alliance with APC, Egbekegbe. And today, Bokwari is telling us that the only way to have peace, whether we like it or not, is to give our land. So if anybody is saying who is trying to divide Nigeria, please save your breath and save us your spittus. Bokwari is the one doing the job. Everybody is just reacting to stimulus, whatever that means. Let those who understand tell me. We are only reacting according to the law of physics. I don't know if that's true, okay? But you know what I'm about to say, right? For every action, there will always be an opposite or contrary or a counter reaction. Bokwari brought death, terrorism, Bukwari brought genocide, division, corruption, and inequality, unfairness, injustice. What do you want us to do? Obey and die? Of course, we are going to react. That's us reacting. The Biafrans decided to take it 10 steps further by not just complaining about the problem, since everybody is in on it, especially those who claim to be the Igbo leaders, Igbo governors, politicians, elites, business class, and the rest of them, who were shouting one Nigeria, while their people are being killed, butchered, displaced, and then economically being destroyed. The IPOB went 10 steps further, which further made Bukwari mad when the ESN was birthed. And this is where the Buharidins, the Buharididinis, the Buharidinotus, and the Buharidijatus, the Buharishukus, the Unnekaharis, the Ungoziaris, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons, and the humbled slaves, the social media bandits and the Facebook adsmen, and including the premium Buhari idiots abroad, the Mumumadus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers, and the rest of their clan and their lineages. The moment the Biafrans said, we will stand and protect ourselves, even though Boko Haram has been killing us, we will not wait to die in the hand of those they gave gun to, and they call them unknown gunmen or Fulani terror bandit and other funny names they gave to them. To an average Biafran, they are terrorists. But we will not wait to die. That was the second offense to Boko Haram. To the Buhari idiots, it is a crime to defend yourself. And if you pay attention, the same thing they are wishing on the Biafrans, as you look around you, the same people are wishing the same thing on us, the Yorubas, for asking for a country that we can at least be part of its foundation, be part of how we are going to be governed, be part of, or how we are going to protect ourselves without having to wait for the dog whistle from a Megad, from Daura. They are now wishing that we should be killed. Do you now get how we got here now? Wait, somebody is going to tell you. How did we get here? Pastor Ruga.
Where we are today and why we're where we are today is because of 16 years of mismanagement of resources. That's the problem. That's why
Do you get that? That's where we are today. But don't be confused. Like Pastor Ruga, there's no confusion here. Okay? There's clarity. Those who brought you here, they are still holding that power. And therefore, they can influence what you think. And with Maiyegun's Diary Political platform, we will continue to make it difficult for them. Okay? People who publicly promote genocide simply because people want to ask for their own freedom, right, should never be given any breathing space. It is for our own collective good. Because what they have for the Biafrans is what they have had for the people of Benue, the Middle Belt. They have killed them. But you see the Buhari idiots? Probably because they are yet to be killed. Many of them, even if they are dying, they will still do this. And that is why we said, listen, they are also victims of their own uninformed or selfish decisions, but they are not just the only victims. All of us are. There is no confusion. Okay? The confusion here is that you probably want to give excuse or continue to give excuse why we are where we are today. Sorry about that. There's no reason to give excuses. Okay? Boko Haram came out. Let me start with this. Now that the Biafrans have chosen to defend themselves, and the insecurity in Nigeria has escalated, everywhere people report about the attacks here, attacks there. School children are being kidnapped every day. In northern Nigeria, people are being killed en masse in northern Nigeria. Okay, Boko Haram controls the military. It controls the air force. It controls the navy. It controls the DSS. It controls the police. It controls the judiciary. It controls the National Assembly. It also controls the presidency. It controls almost everything. It controls the CBN, whereby if they are tired, I mean, if they run out of cash, Emefiole will print them more money, right? But yet, the northern Nigeria became more insecure. It became more, more people have now, ended up in IDP camp. Before now, once they kill once they kill some and others escape to the hills or to the IDP camp, the Boko Haram and the terrorists will take over their communities. But you know what? Even the Boko Haram, the terrorists are now going into the IDP camp to further kill people that they sent to the place. That's how bad it is, right? And when you look at it, you would expect the Nigerian government to use every resources, right, to track down these killers, right, and then bring them to book and return people back to their own homes where they were chased away by the terrorists who are now receiving the cover of the Boko Haram's presidency. But rather than that, they came out to threaten us again. First, they said 75 northern groups came together to issue a threat to arrest Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. My Biafran brothers would like me to say His Excellency Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I don't know if that's going to be a conflict of a title, because Mazi means master, I think. I've been wanting to ask all of you, what is the full meaning of Mazi? When I checked it, it says it's a master, is it? Or a teacher. And I think for somebody like that, His Excellency is good. His Excellency Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be extradited back to Nigeria, back to them in northern Nigeria, so that they can deal with him. Sure. How can you be so concerned about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when you should use that your 75 northern group to begin the mobilization of the northern youth and begin to and then start your own Northern Security Network, NSN, or Arewa Security Network, ASN, and send them into the forest like the IPOB did when the Biafrans volunteered themselves to go after those who are chasing their own mothers and their fathers from their farms and stop them from invading these farms and then, killing them. You could have used that, do you know? If you're watching me right now, if you're one of those, the 75 northern mumus, right? You could have actually made a very good headline. If you're not going to be raising 100 million, are you going to borrow that money? Because you don't have money. If Nigeria should break up today, 100% of the entire northern Nigeria, right? They will go begging because of what your political leaders have done to you. They told you that you are feeding the southern Nigeria. You are feeding them with your cows, with your tomato, with your onions, and the rest of that. Yeah? But yet, maybe I shouldn't say that anyway. You could probably use that to feed your economy, because for 60 years, we have never seen it in the national, the national resources, where they will say, oh, from the money we generated this month, the money we are going to share to all states in Nigeria this month, we made 1 trillion naira from cow. Or we made 1 billion or 100 billion naira from onions. We made this or that from this or that. They made their money from those who are consuming them. But because of the poor education in that part, you think having a lot of onions, having a lot of tomato, having a lot of cows to sell makes you better, when indeed it's not actually contributing anything to you when you can't even buy it yourselves. So which means your federal government of Nigeria relies on us buying them en masse so that they can take the taxes from it, and they can then channel that taxes back to you, whereby without any contribution, so to say. Please keep those cows we can build ranches. Do you know that? And in fact, if the northern criminals actually want to really help the north right now, they should be converting the mass, unused land that they have, including Sambisa Forest, into relocating those terrorists that they have given guns to kill us in the southern Nigeria. I have never seen anywhere they said your cows generated this amount of money this month. They will tell you, this is how much money we realize from taxes. And what are the taxes? Taxes from alcohol, which is a VAT taxes, from alcohol, from this, from that. Yeah? Money from crude oil, money from this, and all of that. And they put the money together and they share the money to your terrorist governors, your terrorist bandit apologist governors, your hoodlum governors. They share the money to them. And what do they use the money for? They use the money for propaganda of their fake Fulanization, whatever nonsense they have in their head. They abandoned you. And they make you think you have anything at all to gain from telling you that they will conquer the South for you. It's never going to happen. Not when this generation actually know better. Because you see, it was Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before now, but it won't just be him. So why do you have to waste your 100 million naira? Who is going to give you the money? Which is it going to be printed to you? Printed for you by Emefiole. Who is going to give you the money? How many cows are you going to sell? Or how many people are you going to kidnap for you to raise that 100 million? Why can't you use it to raise the army that will go after those who make it impossible for you to graze your cows in Sokoto, graze your cows in Kano, build ranches, and make better money than being just a wanderer in 21st century? How can you say you want to put 100 million on somebody who said he's protecting his people and he doesn't want to be part of Nigeria anymore? That's the first joke.
We are placing a bounty of 100 million naira. We are placing a bounty of 100 million naira as an offer to anyone who can produce Nnamdi Kanu alive, hale and hearty. Please take note. Whoever can produce Nnamdi Kanu alive, hale and hearty, uninjured, to us for onward delivery to security agencies for his continuous prosecution. Every property of any northerner that has been destroyed, we are saying that the government of those states that those incidents happen must pay our people. You must pay compensation. We will no longer tolerate the killing of our people. We will no longer tolerate the destruction of properties of our people anymore. If not, we have done it in the past, we will do it again. We don't want to do it. So we are passing a word of warning. They said a word is enough for the wise.
You think say they're wise? You are a mumu man. You are a mumu man. And then throw the guy.
Do you get that? Thank you, Jare Alaji Asari. That's what they do. They get away with it all the time. They make threats. Ask them, which Fulani property is destroyed in any part of southern Nigeria? Are they talking about those shanties they built in the forest? They built with, many of you have seen the videos, Abi? So what property is he talking about? We have done it in the past. We will do it again. He's referring to the same thing that this lifeless breeding mannequin had to say. Listen.
Still on the Southeast, Mr. President. Still on the Southeast, Mr. President. How do you plan to include more people from the Southeast, and indeed the South in general, to include more people in the Southeast, and indeed the South in general?
I think...
Well, Southeast, I was encouraged by what I heard. Nobody told me. 2 statements from the South. One by elderly people. No, South. Yes, by elderly people. They said this time around there will be no access to sea. I'm sure you will understand what they mean. Again, the youth made the same statement. That encouraged me. So that informed It's just like a dot in a circle. If they want to exist, they would have no access to anywhere. And the way they are spread all over the country, having businesses, having property, I think IPOP doesn't know what they are talking about. In any case,
there's a part you're still going to listen to, right? The dots in a circle. Buhari is referring to 60 million people as a dot in a circle. And you heard the first video where that guy said, we did it in the past, we do it again. They were referring to the genocide, which led to the Twitter Twitter deleting that threat of Buhari. And then when Buhari responded, it was pretty much to suspend Twitter in Nigeria. That's the threat from the president. It is a dog whistle. To those of you who have no idea, it is called dog whistle. There are many, many, many Buharis. Did you not hear Philip that called in the other day? There are many, many, many Buharis like that. Okay? And the more they give all these rhetorics, tell me, how would you unite a country like that? How do you intend to actually get away with that? When you are not just making those rhetorics, you are actually carrying them out by killing people. Ask them, where is that Fulani terrorist house destroyed in any part of southern Nigeria? But they just needed something to start the carnage, to start the killing. And they've had it already, but they will never get away with it. Are you with me? Listen further.
Still on the Southeast, Mr. President, how do you plan to include more people from the Southeast, and indeed the South in general, to include more people in the Southeast, and indeed the South in general, in your government, especially in security services and MDAs?
You look at, say, NNPC, look at the military. People who have been there for 18 years, or people who have been there, say, for 10 years, they trained in Zaria or in Abeokuta. You know, they come through the ranks, and because they served under all the circumstances, the crisis and everything, and they gradually rise to that status. And you think you just pick somebody just to balance up? These positions have to be earned. Those positions have to be earned. There are people who have been there for 10, 15 years. And you just because somebody will say, well, there's nobody. If you don't join, you are not forced to join. But when you join, you go through the rigmarole. You go through.
I know he's talking nonsense, okay? But I just wanted to see his reaction when they said, what about the Southeast? Just to give credence to what I told you earlier, there are many, many. But this is one you should pay attention to, okay? Did you see how he reacted? Giving all the blah, blah nonsense to just wish-washy it away, right? Now, listen to this about the Ruga and the Grazing area from the same Buhari.
Gazette of First Republic, when people were obeying laws, there's cattle routes and grazing area. Cattle routes where when they are moving up country, north to south or east to west, they have to go through there. If you allow your cattle to stray into any farmer's farm, you are arrested. The farmer is invited to submit his claims. The alkali or the judge will say, oh, I pay. If you can't, the cattle is sold. And if there is any balance, you are given. And people are behaving themselves. And in the grazing areas, they built earth dams, put windmills, in some places even veterinary departments, so that the herders are limited. Their route is known, their grazing area is known, If there's any problem from the locality, is no. But I'm telling you, this rushing to the center, people just, I think. So I asked for the gazettes, to make sure that those who encroached on these cattle routes and grazing areas will be dispossessed, and try to bring some order back into the cattle areas. The problem is trying to understand the culture.
I hope you paid attention to that. All right? Good. He said he asked for the gazette. That gazette of a grazing route area where they will build veterinary clinic for them. They will put the cows there. He's talking about a ranch. They will build their windmill, blah, 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 nonsense. Ask him, how many of such windmill and those such cattle colonies were created in northern Nigeria since this lifeless Boko Haram came to power? Or how long do you think it takes to build a windmill? 6 years? Or to build a one successful ranch? At least we are saying, if you are going to force Ruga and all this nonsense down the throat of the people, right? What you should do is that you should give us an example. Even if it's in Daura, let's see where you have just resettled this Fulani from Niger, okay? Which happens to be your country. As he said he can't leave them. They are his cousins from Niger. So therefore, as he's the president of Nigeria, he is also the big brother to Niger, and therefore they can borrow money in your name. Why can't you set up one? And they'll say, oh boy, if you see the cattle colony built by Boko Haram in Daura, you go respect what in this man they talk about. Okay? But that's not the purpose. Pay attention to detail. Okay? It is not about a grazing route. He is bringing about something from this Malamu. You know, Malamu is a criminal. The one that is forging all the documents, forging the laws for this criminal regime, right? You don't be surprised if they come out to say there is one grazing route from 1320. I'm just joking, right? But whatever they like, they can go and print it out, okay? The answer will still remain the same thing. No land. See, all of you who are young people, the Buhari idiots, the young Buhari idiots, young cyber barbarians, Some of you, I understand that the only word you know is this word that you have met, the word of Tifnumbu, the word of Remi Werekwe, the word of the likes of Aregbe Mugbo and Co., the word of Benga Daniel, Benga Gwewiri Daniel, the word of all this Ade Pointer, Ade Gator, Governor Pointer and Kill, within the Sonwe Igbo or Sonwe Iku, and the rest of them. That's the word you know. Are you with me? But listen, this word can be better. You shouldn't be defending it. The current Nigeria they gave to you is a fraudulent one. That if anybody tells you they're asking for something better, it's like you trying to waste your future. There is no future. Don't let anybody lie to you. There is no future. You are going to be the one to find your way around it. If you make it, look around you and see how many of your mates or your peers that will ever make it. If you don't believe me, well, you will find out soon. Because even Boko Haram said, nothing for you.
And very importantly, let them speak to the youth. That the federal government has no more vacancy. Virtually every department is filled. The same thing in the states, the same thing in local governments. So you can have a good degree from a good university, and you will never get a job.
It's okay, Baba, it's okay.
I want to join my ancestors.
You will not join
my
anything.
Eyes are closing.
No, I will open your eyes.
So that's where I'm going to draw my own curtain, then open the line. So if anyone is telling you to, by any means, directly or indirectly, agree that killing people, asking for their own country, or asking for a self-determination is the right thing to do, you are not different from Boko Haram. But being member or being able to join the Temple of Truth tonight, maybe your healing will start tonight. And I do hope you meet your healing on the program tonight. I'm going to open the line.